Hello everyone, this is Parag. In today's tutorial, we will see about the string methods in JavaScript. So let's go back into our Visual Studio Code and let's create new file. So I'm just going to create one file, let's say string.js. Right, so we have created one JavaScript file. Now in JavaScript, basically we have seen that we can simply create a string like this. So for example, I'm going to create one variable, let x is equal to, and I'm going to assign some string value to it. For example, let's say welcome. Right, so this is the one way by which we can declare a variable and we can assign the string to that variable. Right, so if I simply print, so I can simply type console.log, let's say x. Save this file and let's run the file. So command is node string.js. Right, so it will print the strings. It will print the string, right? So this is the one way of declaring the string. We can also in JavaScript, we can also declare like, so basically we are declaring by using new keyword, new string. So this is also one way of declaring the string object, right? So basically string is a predefined object in JavaScript, right? So each object has some methods and some properties associated with it, right? So these are the two ways by which we can simply declare the string. So right, so this is how we can declare the string by using new keyword in which we are declaring the object, that is y, that will be assigned as a string object, right? So I'm just going to comment this, and we can also similarly we can also declare our variable like this as well. So this is also, so both are the similar, right? So we can use any way to define the string, but most of the times it's better to prefer the first way, that is this way, to define any string, right? Now let's see what are the different methods or properties that we can use along with the string. So first one is, now let's say we have already used that property. So basically to calculate the length of our string, we can simply use x dot length, so that will return the value of string length, right? It returns length of string, right? So x is our variable which is holding this string currently, right? So what is the value it will return? So basically 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. So it should return us the value as 7. Now let's run this file. We can see here, right? So it returned the value as 7 because the length of the string is 7 here. Similarly, also note that, so I am just now going to change the string. So I am just going to change the value which we have assigned. So I am now going to use like some another value. Now I am writing I. After that I am giving one space. I am again going to give one space and then I am writing apple. So I like apple. Now let's again calculate the string length. Right, so I'm just going to save this file and let's run this file. We can see now the length is 12. So basically in string, even the white spaces will be counted as a string only, right? So that's why it's giving the 12. So basically value, how we can calculate, so this one is first, then second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So by considering the complete length, it will give us the value as 12 because white space will be also calculated in the string length, right? So we if we use any character, that will be also calculated in the string only, right? So that's why it will give the value as 12. And even if we put some white space before the string, for example I am putting one white space before the string and one white space after the string, right, within double quotes, right? So within double quotes whatever we put, that will be counted as a string only. So for example, if I have put the white space before the I and after the E as well. Now let's save this file and let's run. So basically I have added two white spaces, so that will be also counted as a part of a string only. So now let's run this file, right? So it will increase the string length by 2, so that's why it is showing 14 here. because that white spaces will be calculated as a string only, right? So within the double quotes, whatever we put, that will be counted as a string, right? So I'm now going to remove the white spaces so far, right? So this is our string, and this is how we can use x dot length property to calculate the length of our string, right? So this is one method. Now I'm just going to remove this. Now there is one more method. Now let's see, that is called as a index of method. Now what is the use of index of method? So this method returns the first occurrence of a specific string in our string. So for example, let's say I'm going to change this string a little bit. Now let's say I'm going to place I like apple because apple is healthy. So this is my complete string that we have stored in our variable, that is x. Now if I want to know what is the occurrence, what is the index position of the occurrence of the word apple, or the string apple in our whole sentence or whole string, right? So what I can do, I can simply print console.log x, that is our string, dot index of. Now we have to put the string which we want to know its first occurrence. So now I am going to put, let's say, apple, right? So it will return the index position of the first occurrence of that string, right? So what it will return? So basically let's calculate. So this one is first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth position, right? So it will return basically. And also one more thing we have to note, that string index, so basically every string index will start from 0 and not the 1, right? So let's calculate one more time. So I will be placed at 0th position. So this is 0th position. After that, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. So index of a will be 7th, right? Now let's save this file and let's run this file, right? So it will return the 7. So index of method is used to get the first occurrence of the specific string which we want to find out in our complete sentence or complete string, right? Similarly, there is one more method, that is last index of, right? So last index of method will return the last index of the occurrence of that specific string. For example, now let's say I'm going to use same method, same sentence here, same string here. So let's say instead of index of, now I am going to use last last index of apple, right? So apple, if we see here, it is again occurred here, right? So what is the position it will return? So let's calculate. So this is 0, first, second, third, fourth, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22, right? So it should return 22. So basically it returns last occurrence of that specific string which we have mentioned in the double quotes here, right? So now let's save this and let's run the file, right? So it will return 22 here because the second time apple has occurred at the 22nd index position, right? So that is how. So basically it gives the starting position. So apple's a is at the 22nd position, that's why it is returning the value as 22nd here. So this is how we can use index of and last index of methods for finding the occurrence of specific string in our original string, right? Now there is one more method, that is trim method. So trim method is used to remove white spaces which are present either side of the string. So we can add. So for example, now I am going to change the string. Now let's see. So basically I am just using some, I am going to give two white spaces at the beginning of the string, right? So I am just going to put welcome and one more white space. Right, so trim method is used to remove the white spaces. So basically before W there are two white spaces and after E there is one white space. Right, now I want to remove those white spaces. So how we can do that? I will simply print console.log x dot trim. Right, so this method will remove the white spaces from the starting and ending of that string. Now let's save this file and let's again run the same file. Right, so here we can see there are no white spaces are printed. Right, simply to verify. So basically if we don't use, let's say I'm not going to use the trim method and I'm just going to print the original string as it is. Right, let's see how it prints. Correct, let's save the file and let's run this file. Right, we can see here. So this is the statement where we are printing the original string, so that will contain some white spaces as well. If you see here there is white space as well, correct? But when we use the trim method, it will remove the white spaces from the starting and ending points, ending position of that string. But we have to note that it will not remove the white spaces which are in between two values of the string. For example, if I put the white space between the these two values, for example I am putting the two white spaces between will and come. Right, so let's save this file and let's run the file once again. Right, so you see, if you can see here, right, so it will not remove the white spaces which are in between two values of the string. Right, so it will not remove the white space which is in between two characters or two values which are mentioned in that string. So it will remove the white space only at the starting, or that is the beginning of the string, and at the end of the string. Right, so this is how we can use trim method to remove the white spaces from the starting or the ending position of the string. Right, now let's see the next method. So for example, now there is one more method which is Carat method. Right, so Carat method is used to find the index of the specific character which we want to find. So for example, if I want to find out what is the index position of the letter or the E here in the welcome, right? So how we can use that? So I will simply print console.log string, that is x dot caret. Let's say now I want to specify the index position on which we want to find out that specific character, right? So I will just place, let's say 0. Now 0 is my index position. Which character is placed at 0th index position? So that is W, right? So let's see what whether it returns W or not. Right, I am just saving the file. Right, so it will return the W. So basically it will return the character which is placed at that specific index position. Now let's change the index position. Now I am going to put 2 here. Right, so in string the index will start from 0, so W will be at 0, E will be at first, and L will be at second position. Right, now let's save this file and let's run the file once again. So it will return L this time, right, because L is placed at second index position, that is 0, 1 and 2, so it will return L. So this is how we can use the Carat method to find out the specific character on that index position. So basically we can find out which character is placed at which index position. Right, now let's see one more method, that is concat method. Right, so concatenation method is used to concatenate more than two strings. So for example, now this is my first string, that is welcome. Now I am going to create one more string. Let's say let y is equal to hello world. Right, so this is our two strings. So x is welcome and y is second string, that is hello world. Right, now how we can use concat method to concatenate both the string together. Right, so I can simply print console.log, let's say x dot concat and in this we have to mention which string with which we have to concat. So y is that second string, right? Now let's save this file and let's run it, right? So we can see here, so it is returning the string which is the combination of both the string or concatenation of both the string here, right? So it creates a new string that is the combination of our x and y. So concatenation method is used to concatenate two or more than two strings as well. Now let's see, I am going to create one more string. Let z is equal to, let's say, apple, right? So there are three strings now. So how we can use, so we can simply add comma here and let's put the third string as well. So basically it will concatenate all the three strings together. Now let's save this file, let's run the file once more, right? So we can see the output here, right? So it will concatenated the welcome, hello world and apple, right? All the three strings together, and it will not impact the original string. So basically if we simply print the original string, that will remain as it is. Let's say we are going to print x, so value of x will be welcome only, right? So it will concatenation method will create one new string that will be combination of two or more than string which we want to concatenate, right? So this is how we can use concat method to combine two or more string together, right? Now let's see one more method. Now let's see the replace method. So replace method is used to replace the specific string from our original string value, right? So how we can use that, for example, now let's say I'm just going to, so I'm just adding some extra text in our string. So let's say welcome to world. So this is our original string. Now let's say my scenario is I want to replace the world with earth. So I want to replace the value of world with earth. So how we can do that? So we can simply do console.log x dot replace, and in the replace method we have to mention the value which we want to replace. So I want to replace the world. I want to replace the world with which value we want to replace it. So basically I want to place value of earth there, right? So yeah, so this is how this method now will replace the value of world and it will place earth in place of that world, right? So let's print this, right? So we can see here, so it changed the original string, it will replace the value of world to the earth, right? So this is how we can use the replace method to replace some specific value of the original string, and we can replace that value by some another string value, right? So this is how we can use the replace method on the string, right? Now let's see one more method. That method is substring. So substring method is used to extract the portion from our string. So for example, let's say I want to extract the welcome from the original string. So how we can do that? And before that we have to remember that starting, so basically how we can do that, so let's say console.log x dot substring, and we have to mention the starting index from which we want to extract the portion of the original string and the ending index, right? So we have to mention two values in that, that is basically starting index and ending index. So always remember, in our string the starting index is starting from zero value, right? So for example, now if I want to extract the value of welcome, so what will be the starting index of that value? So basically starting index will be 0, so the w is at the 0 position, so I have to mention 0 here, and after that we have to mention the ending position. So always remember that to calculate the ending position we have to start the value by 1 only, not from the 0. So to calculate the ending position up to what point we have to extract. So let's say I want to extract the whole word welcome, right? So what will be the starting position? That is 0, that we have mentioned here, and e up to e. So basically up to e we have to extract, right? So what will be the position of the e, index position of the e? So we have to call, while putting the ending index or the ending index, we have to calculate from the first value. So in that case w will become the first, this e is second, then L is third, C is fourth, O is 5, M is 6, and this E is at the 7th position. Right, so we have to mention the starting position, that will start from the 0, and E is at the second position. And this, to calculate the end index, we have to calculate from the 1. So that will start from the 1. So W is at the 1 position and E is at the 7th position. Now let's save this file and let's run the file. Right, so it extracted the word welcome from our original string, right? So this is how we can extract some part of our original string. So this is how we can use substring method to extract the specific portion of the string. So it will create one new string that is containing only the welcome value that is extracted from the original string. Now let's see, I want to extract the word. This time the extract, I want to extract the value of the word from the complete sentence, right? So how we can do that? I will simply print console dot log x dot substring, and now we have to provide two values. First one is starting number, that is starting index, and ending index, right? So what is the index of starting index of the this w here? So let's calculate that. Is first, so it will start from 0 this time because we are calculating the starting index. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So 11 is going to be the starting index, then comma, and we have to give the ending index, that is the index of the d, right? But we have to give the ending index, that's why we will start from the first only. So this time w will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So it will be 16. So end index will be 16. Now let's save this file and let's run the file. Right, so it extracted word this time. Right, so this is how we can use substring method to extract the specific string from the original string. Right, now there is one more method, that is to lowercase. So to lowercase method is used to convert all the value, all the uh, words in our string to the lowercase. So it will convert the string to lowercase values. Now let's say I am going to simply print console.log x dot to lowercase. Let's save the file and let's run the file. Right, so you can see here our original string contains some uppercase letter, that w is uppercase, but after using lowercase method it converted complete string to the lowercase only. Now let's add all the characters as uppercase. Let's say WELCOME. I have changed everything to uppercase. Now again save this file and let's run this file. Right, we can see here, so it converted all the values to lowercase, right? Similarly we can use uppercase also. So to uppercase is used to convert the string to uppercase values. So for example, let's say I'm going to use original string as all the lowercase values. Now I'm just going to simply use console.log x dot to uppercase. Let's save the file and let's run the file. Right, so it converted all the values. So basically our original string was having all the lowercase values, but after using uppercase method everything got converted to uppercase. So this is how we can use two lowercase and two uppercase methods to convert the string to lowercase or uppercase accordingly, right? Now these are all the most used methods of string. So there are multiple methods for string, but we are just seeing the most commonly used methods in string. Now there is one more method, that is basically split method. So what split method does? So split method returns the string value, it converts the string value and stores that value in the array. So basically by using split method, we can simply convert the complete string into an array element or into the array. So for example, now let's say I'm going to use the original string as, let's say, apple, comma, mango, orange, banana, right? So this is our original string. Let's say my original string is containing all the values of our fruits, that is apple, mango, orange and banana. And now let's use the split method. So how we can use? So basically console.log x dot split, and in that we have to also mention the separator. So basically in our original string we have used comma as a separator, right? So if we use comma here, so all these values which are separated by comma will be considered as a individual elements in our array. So for example, now let's save this file and let's run the file, right? So it has created one array. So basically it converted our string into the array and it stored the values as this individual element which are separated by comma. For example, we have used comma here, right? So apple is the zeroth element in our array index or the new array. Apple is at the zeroth index, that is the first position. Then mango is considered as a second element, orange is third element, banana is fourth element. So we have converted our string. So basically this is the string and this is the output which is displayed is in array format. So this is basically an array, right? So this is how we can use split method to convert our string into the array, right? Similarly, we have placed comma here, right? But if we don't place comma here, so what will happen? So it will store, let's run this file, right? So if we don't use comma, so basically we haven't used any comma, we have simply used the quotes here or double quotes here, right? So that will save each character as a element, each character as an individual element in the array. So if you see, basically it has generated the array in which each and every character here that is displayed as array element, right? So a is the first element, after that p is second element, then again p is third element. Similarly, even comma is also one element in that array, even space is also one element in that array, right? So this is what happened if we don't use any comma in the split method, right? And if we don't use anything at all, so if we don't give any parameter in the split method, I'm just going to use only x dot split. So what will happen in that case? So now let's again run the file, right? So if you see here, if we don't use or if we don't give any separator value in the split method, then it will store the whole string as a single element in our array. So basically it will create the array that is containing only the one element, that is the complete string here. So that is placed at 0th position. So basically this array will be containing only the one element placed at 0th index and it will be the complete string basically, right? So that is the complete string that is placed at only the 0th position. So this is how we can use the split method that will return the array whenever used on any string, right? So this is how we can use split method to convert the string into the array. So these are the most commonly used string methods in JavaScript. There are multiple methods, but these are the most commonly used string methods. So in the next lecture, we will see about what are the different methods that we can use on the numbers in JavaScript. So thank you for watching.